Hey guys, Rachel from RK Ribbon Designs. I'm going to show you today how to make a fun mesh tubing pick. We've done them other times, like with other versions. This one you're just going to use just the mesh tubing. Usually I put either like the yarn wrapped wire inside or pipe cleaner. This time we don't need to because we're going to be making smaller loops and we're going to be coming up with a pick like this. So the one I'm going to be making, I decided, like, after I made this one, I don't know if I really love just having the red in between. It is fun, but I think I want it to alternate. So the one we're going to be making will look slightly different than this one, but this is what we're going to be doing. So this is going to be an easy project, but it's going to be a little more time consuming. So just keep that in mind. So what you're going to do is you're just going to cut your mesh tubing, and this is a great one for affordability because you can get the mesh tubing. You can use the one from Dollar Tree. Definitely use that one if you want to. I like the ones that have a little bit of sparkle to them. So these ones are both actually from Craft Outlet. They have a big variety of the different mesh tubing, so I typically stick with them. But you could definitely use Dollar Tree one. So don't think like you have to get this one. Dollar Tree one will be fine, especially if you're on more of a little like budget for Christmas, or you don't want to spend a lot because you don't keep your decorations the same all the time, like myself. Then don't. So what you want to do though is you're going to cut all of your mesh tubings in about, so I did 8-inch strips. And the reason is that you're going to have your loops, but you don't want your loops to be too large, but you also want to have room at the bottom so that when you attach it to the wire, you're going to have something, to attach to the wire. You don't want to leave yourself barely any room because then it's going to be more difficult. So I cut, let me see. And again, this is one of those ones where you can decide how many loops you want on your pick, because if you're doing like a small little, like let's say you're doing a little arrangement, you probably don't need something like this large. But if you have like a large tree that you want to put these in, or garland, then you might want to do them more. But you can stop, and just have like, just be done with, that many loops. So you decide. Don't think that this is a rule. It's not a rule. All right, so I'm not even going to count. We're just going to go with it because I really don't know how it's going to work out because I'm doing a little different. And then this is just an 18 gauge wire, 18 gauge floral wire that I get from Amazon, because the mesh tubing is very lightweight. So you don't really need to have a super strong stem, but my stems are always going to be an 18 gauge wire because they are going to be at least going to have some hold. Some of the stuff that we do, I'm going to recommend like even a stronger wire that I get from like Home Depot or Lowe's, but this one's fine. All right, so you're going to start with whichever one you want on the top. You can also just do this one color. You don't have to do different color. You can do multiple colors, whatever. Have fun with it. So we're just going to fold it in half, and I'm going to leave about 1 inch of my mesh tubing on the bottom. I'm going to take some floral tape here, and then I'm just going to put it right on the top of my floral wire. And what I like about this one is I only need one floral wire because it can get pricey, having to use a bunch of different wires for one pick. So this one, you only need one floral wire. So we're just going to tape our loop on here. And that's what I'm talking about. That gives me a lot of room to tape the tubing on. It's going to make it a little more secure onto our wire there too. So we just tape that on like that. So you're going to have about a 2-inch little loop here. And the thing is, that's why we don't need the pipe cleaner or anything inside, because the loop is little. It's going to, hold its shape. Now, if you're going to do bigger loops, then I would suggest adding in that pipe cleaner or wire, because the mesh tubing is not going to be strong enough and it can easily get bent and everything else. Where if you have that wire inside, it's going to give it a little more protection and stability. All right, so the next we're going to do is we're going to do our green. Now, because I've been doing this for so long, I myself would do 2 at a time and attach them both. I would just go on both sides and then wrap it with floral tape. But I know a lot of people are kind of new to this, so we're going to just do it one at a time. And that's why it's a little more time consuming, because you're going to have to do it one at a time. Once you start getting the hang of it, then you could start doing it just 2 at a time, and it will go a lot faster. So I'm just going to put the green right down on the wire, kind of off onto the side. I'm not putting it directly on top. I'm just coming onto the side here. So you have your tubing. Let's see if I can show you guys that. Your wire, and then your tubing's off on the side. And you can, again, you decide how far down you want your loop to be. If you want it to be lower or higher, you know, more bunched up, that's preference. It's not a rule. So we're going to actually come down about 1.5 inches. And then we're just going to wrap this. And remember with your floral tape that you got to give it a little bit of tug so it can activate. And also, not all floral tape is made the same. So some floral tape might be extremely sticky, some might not really be sticky at all. You got to kind of find the one that works for you. This one I found is not too bad. It does want to not stick at the end, so I always make sure that I keep wrapping it even though it's finished, just to really make it secure onto the wire. So we got the one. Now we're going to come on the other side with the other green. And then we're just going to do the same thing. And it's going to want to kind of move around on you. So when it kind of wants to move to the back, I just twist it forward just to get it to stay put. And then once you kind of wrapped it a few times, it's not going to move. So then you're just going to keep doing that. And then we're just going to repeat this all the way down until you have the amount that you want. So like you could just stop right here. Like I said, if you have a little arrangement or something that you're doing and you don't need a bunch of them, then you would stop right there. But I'm going to actually alternate now. So now I'm going to, instead of using the green, oh wait, you know what? I forgot. What we're going to do is we're going to put a green one in the middle here before we go to our next loop. We're going to put one right in the middle. So now this one's going to go right on top of our wire, not on the side. It's going to go right on top. Just going to put that there. Our floral tape. And also, if this is if you're having a hard time with it, another option, which is going to add a lot more time to it, is what you could do is you could actually take your loops and wrap them all first. So you would just take them and then one by one, like put it together and then wrap them all now. And then that way you're not worrying about them slipping. They already have a little stem on them, but that's going to be very time consuming. But if that's what you need to do, then do that. All right, so now we have our green in the middle there. So now we're going to come with our red. And again, we're going to go on the side here. And then we're just going to attach it as well. So you have that one on the side, and then we'll do the other side. Just like that. So I like that a little bit better than just having the one solid color down the middle. So now we're going to go with our red loop here, and we're going to put that right in the middle like that, and then we will continue down with our green. And there's it. That's the finished product. But see, I like this version. I like them both, but this one I feel like it just kind of flows a little better. But either one are fun. Either one is fun. So decide what you want to do. Have fun with it. Like I said, you could do multiple different types of mesh tubing to make them really fun. You could do all one color. But whatever you want to do. But this is one way of being able to make some picks without having to buy a bunch of supplies. All you need is your floral tape, your mesh tubing, and your floral wire. And that's it. No glue is even required. So this is a good one that's simple. You don't have to have a lot of things on hand for it. But it does take up a little bit more time, like you saw, having to wrap them individually. So just keep that in mind. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you like this content, make sure that you subscribe to my page and that you follow me on all of the other social media platforms that I'm on. And that's it. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.